see many familiar faces at this point. We've been together for almost a day. To all of those who I haven't had a chance to meet yet, I'm Anastasia. Thank you for joining me on this session about tough life of being an account executive. The good news is we're not going to talk today about the challenges, but also solutions to those challenges. Now, here's a brief slide about me and my success as an account executive in the past 7 years in B2B tech sales. But, you know, it hasn't always been like that. I actually worked from very fast sales, selling cocktails as a bartender at a bar about 20 years ago, to then selling duty-free watches and perfumes, being a flight attendant, to selling exclusive furniture and everything in between. And then 7 years ago, I ended up in B2B in IT. And what I noticed is the further you go, the longer the sales, the more complex the sales, and the lonelier you feel. Actually, I think I'm going to talk on behalf of all the account executives that despite the fact that we talk to people every day, we interact with prospects, with clients, we are a pretty lonely bunch. Let me explain. Currently, B2B sales cycle lives within the funnel. And based on which stage of the funnel a certain account is in, the account executive interacts with different stakeholders of the GTM, go-to-market team. Now, if we look at the pre-opportunity stage, also referred to as pipeline generation, there is a whole variety of team members involved, a whole variety of tactics, strategies, and channels, all of that to help generate pipeline. And you know, it's understandable. As the saying goes, the hardest part about closing the pipeline is generating it. So then, when we look at the deal one stage, or when the contract is signed, again, there is a party going on here, right? Everything is working together to implement, to onboard the client, get them trained, make them happy, and make them stay forever. But what's happening in between? It feels like from the moment the opportunity is opened, there's nothing to do as a team. Account executive can just jump on a couple of Zoom calls, answer a couple of emails, sign the contract and take the money, right? Well, not quite. This stage, which mind you often lasts months to years, depending on the type of deals, whether it's mid-market enterprise, and this is what an AE has to change in the current environment in order to meet their quota. So these are stats from Pavilion on how the deal value decreased, the win rates decreased, and sales cycle being lengthened. And that's the data just from 2021 to 2022. The bigger picture is even more dramatic. I think you might find different data online from different sources, but everyone will be talking about exact same trend, which is how difficult it is to get new business these days. Now, why is this actually happening? Well, these days, companies are being more protective of their budgets than ever because the times, I guess, when you could connect with a couple of champions and get the deal seamlessly signed are, for the most part, gone. No one wants to take the responsibility for making decisions to bring in new vendors because their job is going to be on the line if in case they do fail. And companies overall, with getting their budgets locked, are looking at new vendors, at new technologies, is not something that they want to test. It's something that they want to definitely work. They look at new technologies as strategic initiatives that have to bring value, that have to align with their objectives, that have to be built into their processes. So as a result, buying committees grew to power. It's not individual decision makers that are right now bringing in new vendors. It is groups of people known as buying committees or buying groups. And the more robust the buying committee, the lengthier the sales cycle is, the more layers of approval there are, the lengthier the contract reviews. So let's take a look at the numbers shared by Gartner that say that from 2021 to 2023, within just 2 years, the number of average people involved in a buying committee grew from 6 to 11 to 14 to 23. And that's quite a big jump in just 2 years. So who are these people? Who are these new people? So these days, enterprise deals are often cross-functional, meaning involving people from different departments. So for example, I myself, working at Influ2, usually talking to marketers and salespeople, now more and more often I get involved into conversations with the IT teams because they want to know how exactly the product will be implemented. They also, I also get to talk to people from finance teams more than ever. CFOs are very protective of their budgets and they want to make sure that the ROI is going to be positive. Also, at the same time, I talk to legal teams more than ever. I mean, we are in the midst of the GDPR paradise, and I don't need to kind of tell you more about it. So essentially, these days, I get to involve so many more people in order to win a certain deal, but I cannot be in direct contact with all of those people. I need to find other ways how to dominate those conversations that happen within that account that I am not part of at a certain point in time. And me relying on my champions like it was 3-4 years ago is more of a wishful thinking rather than a good strategy. Because yes, my champion might be excited about the technology, but they might not be able to deliver the value and answer all the questions from all the buying committee members. Additionally, they might be overwhelmed by the chaos of information. They also might simply be limited in their understanding of the value of the technology based on what they do at the company. So in addition to all that, I think that the buyers have become more and more independent. Like these days, they resist the hard sale approach, and they want the approach when they feel seen and valued and understood, but at the same time not pressured. Typically, each decision maker will find 4 to 5 pieces of information online, and you never know what those are about you, unless you explicitly take the responsibility of delivering those pieces of information in front of them in a non-intrusive way, the way they want it to be these days. Now, here comes additional exciting data, right? So the deals that go beyond the optimal sales cycle, the likelihood of them being decreased falls to 60% if the deal is delayed by at least 1 month, and by as much as 90% if the sales cycle is extended by at least several months. So here we are as account executives with all these opportunities in our pipeline. Some of those are new calls. Some of those are deals that are 3, 6, 9, 12 months into the deal cycle. In each of the accounts, there are multiple stakeholders. So the actual quest come in, how should I prioritize my time effectively? What should I do today? Should I prospect into new opportunities? Should I work on account progression? Or maybe I should use my existing relationship to seek for some expansion or upsell opportunities. So now let's go back to this slide about the sales pipeline, but with a more realistic view of what account executive these days has to deal with in order to bring revenue to the company. And here comes the question. So why is this happening, and who could actually help AEs? Well, the reality is AEs don't have to be on their own. There is another department within a company with very similar goals. I think you got it right. This is marketing. And the two teams, sales and marketing, they go further and faster when they work together. Yes, marketing usually is involved in sales enablement, in creating slides and content. That is super helpful for AEs, but it is simply not enough in the current environment to help them close deals with these large buying committees. So let's think about like why this is happening, right? So it's not that marketing team doesn't want to support the AEs during their sales cycle. It's that GTM, go-to-market teams, they face a variety of limitations when it comes to working together. So first of all, there is no visibility into the sales process for marketing usually. Second of all, it's extremely hard for marketers to measure impact on their pipeline progression. And I think any marketer in this room would recognize this unfair rule whatever is touched by a salesperson gets credited to sales. And this is the reason why marketers usually focus on something that they can easily impact and measure, which is MQLs. And on top of that, the tech stack of two teams, sales and marketing, they have been in silos for a while. And it's just very difficult to align the two teams. So here comes the question, right? So we have all these challenges. Life is tough. What can we do to align sales and marketing efforts? And I'm happy to share with you what we do at Influ2. And most of our sales and marketing alignment is based on our very own person-based advertising technology. So let me tell you what exactly it is, how we leverage it, how it's built into our processes, and what impact we see on the pipeline, on revenue that we bring to the company. So what is person-based advertising? It is a technology that allows marketeers reach specific people with the content of the choice, and then report on all their engagements without any form fills, notifying the relevant sales rep about any engagement from their own account. Let's dive deeper. Let's break this all down and dive deeper into each of the points. First, marketing is able to reach specific people through ads. What that means is both of us, sales and marketing, we can come together and decide, okay, what are the accounts that we want to concentrate on, and what are the people, who are the people within each account that are important for us that we want to influence. And then, for example, the moment the opportunity is open, marketing does not fade away in a deal done fashion, as it often happens. And again, we kind of discussed for which reasons, no pressure on marketing here. So the moment the opportunity is open, we know exactly who is going to attend the call. So what my marketing does is it launches a campaign with my face on it that targets everyone who's going to attend that meeting in order to create this personalized experience with me, for me with them, their IE, and for Influ2 as the vendor. Then, in addition to that, and I have an example of that to make it a bit more clear. So in addition to boosting the show-up rates, it also helps me stay top of mind when I cannot reach out to them, because no matter how much I love their account, no matter how much they love me, I cannot knock on their inbox every single day, right? That would be desperate and quite annoying, but ads can be shown to these people every single day. Additionally, I can influence all the decision makers, because no matter what a great professional AE I am, there will always be people who do not attend my meetings, who do not reply to my meetings, who don't even open my meetings. But they're still involved in the buying process, and that means I still need to find other ways how to get in front of them. And again, ads get very handy here. So here comes the first example. When I told you my marketing helps me get my face in front of those people that are about to attend the very first call, I truly meant it. This is an example of a real ad with a real landing page that shares our team's excitement for that call, explains what Influ2 is, and basically encourages them to attend that very first discovery call. Now, we can reach the right people. What's next? If we can control who we can target through ads, we can also control what content we show to these people. What that means is the content could be different based on stage of the sales cycle they're in, but also based on the pain points they have. For example, once I have the very first call, I fill out information in Salesforce that tells my marketing what kind of challenges this account has, what kind of objectives they have. Or also I can talk to my ABM team directly if there is a large account and it needs some special treatment. But eventually, my marketing team, some days later, launches the campaigns for the buying group of that account, addressing needs and pain points of that account. Also, in addition to addressing pain points, you can highlight your strength. But again, instead of bragging on a call how great you are, you can show them some success stories or some content that would prove you as a trusted vendor through ads in a non-intrusive way. Also, you can work with objections, but again, instead of having some sort of fights on a call, you can do it in a more elegant, less provoking way through ads on what we call neutral territory. And you know, the best part about all of this is that you can allow your prospect consume the content at a time when they want, in the channels that they want, and at the speed that they want, not when you want to send them an email and share that content with them. Here comes another example. So after the call, I fill out the information in the CRM. Again, a few days later, if the, let's say, pain point I mentioned is pipeline acceleration, when an account, due to current economy, has bad conversion rates to close one and has very long sales cycle, then we'll launch a campaign that addresses how exactly our product can solve that pain point and help them shorten the sales cycle. Now, we do it in a more exquisite way, let's say, because we have a huge ABM team and we have this great sales and marketing alignment. I understand for teams that need to start somewhere, it could be very automated. Like it could be as simple as after the call, account executive selects from the drop-down menu a certain pain point for that account, and it would automatically enroll them into some advertising campaign related to that pain point. So there is no need to make it complicated, basically. So once we target the right audience with the right content in the non-intrusive way, some of those people will eventually engage with it, and the sales team will get notified about it in real time. We refer to these insights as person-level ad intent. And this type of data answers holy question of questions for AEs. What should I do today? What is the best usage of my time? What is the activity that will have the highest impact on my pipeline and revenue? And the first pillar of that person-level intent is who I should reach out to today that will make the best impact on that deal. Should that be a champion that I'm already in touch with based on their level of engagement, or someone else within that account who was not engaged, but now they show some interest, and it's a sign for me to send LinkedIn requests, send email, introduce myself, and eventually start multi-threading within that account. Also, another pillar of the intent is what to talk to them about. Like, what exactly are they engaging with what content, what resonates with their needs, and what questions I should ask them in order to bring the evaluation into the right mode. And last piece is, this type of intent helps me generate additional touch points. So if it's my existing champion and they engage with a certain topic, I can just share a webinar on that topic or some ebook or report to keep them excited so they learn more about the technology, our success, use cases, and so on. At the same time, since we target not just the champions but the whole buying committee, it means that if I see engagement from the people that were not involved before that, then I can multi-thread. For example, I had a call with one account, with Lucas from that account. And after the call, marketing launched the campaign. There was another person, let's call her Mary for this example. So Mary clicked on ad, I followed up with her. She instantly was excited to learn more about our technology. So guess what? Now my chances to win this account doubled. Why? Because now I have two people within that company that are excited and engaged. And as a result, my multi-threading, I guess that's sum it up here. So as a result, by using person-based advertising daily, it allows me to effectively multi-thread and build meaningful relationships with the different members of the buying committee. It allows me to accelerate the deal velocity. It also allows me to revive stuck deals. I think if there are any AEs in this audience, you know the feeling when you want to follow up with that person who is important to the deal, or if you're not an AE, you have a certain project and there is silence on the other end, and you want to send them something meaningful, but in the end it turns out to, hi, how are you? I was thinking we could talk about what we talked about last week, so let's talk about it. Well, it can be a bit more purposeful and meaningful, and person-level ad intent just gives you those insights. The best part about it is it integrates into my daily workflow. So there are a variety of channels for where this data could be delivered. I myself get notified about engagement from my prospects in Slack. Also, all the data gets pushed into our CRM, which in our case is Salesforce, but it could be HubSpot or anything else. And as a result, I can see holistic view on that account from different channels, different members of the buying committee. Now, you remember we talked about marketing having a hard time measuring impact on opportunity progression. Well, this type of approach allows to solve that challenge, because marketing won't only reach certain people and engage them, it will also be able to accurately measure, okay, what was the impact on opportunities generated, opportunities progressed, opportunities closed won. So it's a win-win for everyone. Sales can close better with marketing. Marketing can prove their success. And I guess the next question is what kind of impact I see on my pipeline. So we analyzed the data within the last 1 year, and we saw that 95% of all closed-won deals were impacted by marketing, which emphasizes that the more channels you use to engage the buying committee, the more aligned your efforts are, the more wins you can bring in together. And also I have some stats on pipeline progression. So these numbers prove that those opportunities that were touched by marketing, they progress down the funnel at a 2x plus better rate than the ones that were solely handled by account executives. Now, on this positive note on the impact of person-based advertising, I'd like to conclude my presentation. I know we're a bit over time, so for the questions, I'd say that I'll be at the booth number 14, Influ2 booth. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to address them there. Thank you.
Thank you so much.